Hello BookTube, my name is Elizabeth and welcome to Book Babble. So today I am doing my most anticipated releases of 2015. I am so excited with it. I am so sorry. I don't have some fancy smancy video editing thing. I just have Windows Movie Player, so I'm not going to be able to put pictures here. I'm going to cut and put them in there, and it's gonna look weird and it's gonna suck, and I'm sorry, but at least you get to see the cover of the book. Some of these books that I have on my list do not have covers yet, so I won't do that for them, but let's get started. Number 15 is The Sin Eater's Daughter. This is by Melinda Salisbury. This is going to be the first book in the Sin Eater's Daughter series, and it's about this girl named Twilia, I think is how you say her name, and basically she is the goddess embodied, and apparently that means that whoever she touches, she instantly kills them, and because she has this power, she is taken to the prisons every single month and puts her hand on people who are accused of treason and she kills them. And because she is the goddess embodied, she is engaged to the crown prince, and because he is a prince, he is supposedly immune to her fatal touch, and this just looks so interesting. I am super excited about this coming out. The release date for this is February 20th. Number 14 is Liars Inc., and this is by Paula Stokes. So basically this is about a boy named Max, and Max starts a company at his school where he basically forges permission slips and cover stories for kids to be able to get out of class, and he does this with a couple of his friends, and one day one of his friends that helps him wants his own permission slip to get out of class and his own cover story, and basically I guess the kid never comes back and he disappears, and eventually they find his body, I think, and it turns into this whole big thing and he's got to keep covering up his story or something like that. It looks really interesting. It's got a Pretty Little Liars feel to it, but I think it's going to be a little bit more serious, and it's only supposed to be one book. It's not going to be a series, so I am really looking forward to this book. Number 13 is The Girl at Midnight. This is by Melissa Gray. This is being advertised for people who are fans of The City of Bones and Leigh Bardugo's Shadow and Bone. I'm not really sure exactly what it's about. The synopsis is a little confusing, but it's basically an urban fantasy, and it's about this girl set in modern-day New York, but there's this race of people who are living under the streets of New York or something like that. It sounds really interesting, and the cover is gorgeous. Number 12 is The Sword of Summer. This is by Rick Riordan. This is the first book in a new series which is about the gods of Asgard. It is going to be following the new character. His name is Magnus Chase. I am so excited for this. I just started reading the Percy Jackson series back in November for the Percy Jackson read-along. You can join that below. And I love it. It's amazing. I can't wait. I feel like I have to read all of this stuff in order from which it was published, but I'm just so excited for this. I really hope that I can get to it this year, but I don't know if I will be able to. But anyway, this book looks so good. I am just so excited. As you can tell, I'm shaking with excitement. I can't wait till this book comes out. It doesn't come out until October 6th. Number 11 in my list is Copper Gauntlet. This is by Cassandra Clare and Holly Black. This is the second book in the Magisterium book series. The first one was The Iron Child. This wasn't on anyone's list that I've seen so far, but I don't think a lot of people have read The Iron Child yet. I don't know, but I read it and I loved it, and I am so excited for the second one to come out. It doesn't even have a publication date yet. The first one came out in like September, October time, I think, so it's probably going to be somewhere around there again. Number 10 is The Rose Society by Marie Lu. This is the second book in the Young Elites series, and I just finished the Young Elites like yesterday, and it was fan-freaking-tastic. I loved it so much. I'm kind of upset with myself that I read it so close to the first publication date because it doesn't come out until October of next year, so I have to wait so long even though I just finished reading it. But the epilogue to the Young Elites brings out like this new character. It's so good. I'm going to be putting up my review of the Young Elites here in the next couple of days, and when it is up, I will link it in the doobly-doo. Number 9 on my list is called Incan Bone. This is the first book that is coming out in the Great Library series. It is going to be coming out on July 7th, and I am so excited for this book. It sounds so good because it's basically about what would have happened if the Library of Alexandria had not been destroyed. What? When I read the synopsis for this book, I was sold immediately. It looks so good. I am so excited. I cannot wait. My brother, for some reason, has this obsession with the Library of Alexandria, and he never reads, so I really feel like he's going to read this book. I'm going to read this book. I'm going to love it. It's going to be amazing. I cannot wait. The next book is called The Orphan Queen by Joni Meadows. This book is about this girl who was a princess. Her parents were killed, and she had to, like, escape to another country or something like that. This is a high fantasy book. It looks really good. I think the cover is just gorgeous. It's mostly what drew me in. Of course, all fantasy books with great covers, I'm immediately there, but it looks like a really, really good book. My next book on my list is Secret, and this is by Arwen Elsdaden. I was very lucky to get a ARC copy from the publisher. Thank you so much. This comes out February 10th of 2015. This is about a girl named Quinn who is taking an oath to become a seeker, which means she basically is like protecting people and stuff like that. But as soon as she becomes a seeker, it's not what she expected, and I guess stuff goes down. But this looks really good. It also says soon to be a major motion picture. I mean, that's pretty good. If you have, like, the rights for a movie to be made about this book already before it's even published, I think that's pretty good. My next anticipated release of 2015 is Ensnared by A.G. Howard. Again, I was very lucky to get a finished copy from the publisher. Thank you so much. I am, like, super excited that I was able to get this finished copy. I also got an ARC copy about a month ago, so I am going to be giving that away for you guys. The link will be in the doobly-doo if you are interested. But this is the third and final book to the Splintered series, and I cannot wait. I am so excited. The covers for this book, are just gorgeous. Look. They're so detailed and colorful, even though it's like mainly one color. It's like different shades of reds and blacks and yellows, and I mean, and the detail for these books was so well done. This is probably one of my favorite covers of all time. I mean, if you can see the glare in his eyes, in Jeb's eyes, I think this is Jeb, have hearts. I mean, it's just so good. It's so good, and it continues all the way around into the back. These covers is just absolutely gorgeous. I am so excited about this book. Next on my list is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. Red Queen is about two groups of people, the Reds and the Silvers. The Reds are like poverty-stricken commoners, and the Silvers are the people who rule over the Reds, and the Silvers have powers and stuff like that, but our main character, the girl, finds out that she has powers even though that she is a Red, and it's about that, and it looks really, really good, and this comes out February 10th. Number 4 on my list is A Court of Thorns and Roses, and this is a new book series by Sarah J. Maas. And this is a fairy fae type book. The cover is just gorgeous. I've heard raving reviews about everything Sarah J. Maas. I, unfortunately, have not gotten a chance to read a Sarah J. Maas book, but I'm hoping that I can read one of her book series this year, hopefully starting with A Court of Thorns and Roses. This book comes out May 5th. Number 3 on my list is Glass Arrow by Kristen Simmons. I've talked about this a couple of times already on my channel. This book comes out February of 2015. The main character is a girl, and in this world, women and girls are not free, and they're basically bred and captured and raised just for breeding rights. And I think that concept is really cool and weird, and I don't know how it's going to play out, but I am so interested to find out. This just sounds like a super interesting book. Again, I was very lucky to get an ARC from the publisher. Thank you so much. I am really excited about reading this book. The next book on my list is actually 2 books because Marissa Meyer is coming out with 2 books in the same series this year, and that is Fairest and Winter. Fairest comes out in February. Winter comes out in October or November or something like that, who knows. And this is books 3.5 and books 4 in the Lunar Chronicles series, and I recently read Cinder and Scarlet, and I'm going to be reading Crest here in the next couple of days, so I am like so excited to read Fairest and Winter when they come out this year. Marissa Meyer is just a genius, and I cannot wait to read the rest of her books. The book that I am most excited to read this year, hands down, the second book in the Remnant Chronicles series by Mary E. Pearson, called Heart of Betrayal. and I have been excited for Heart of Betrayal since the first book came out in July. I read it almost immediately after it came out, and it was just hands down by far my favorite book that I've read this year. It is my #1 book from my top 14 list, top 14 books of 2014, and I loved it so much. I don't want to tell you exactly what this book is going to be about because I'm afraid it would give spoilers for the first book, but if you are a fan of fantasy, definitely go and read The Kiss of Deception before Heart of Betrayal comes out July 7th. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!